Hi, my name is Jules, Head of Workshop Services for Evans Cycles. I have 20 years experience in the cycle industry and train our mechanics to recognise national standards. We are the only cycle retailer in the UK to have approved Cytec training status, which helps us maintain high standards. I'm going to change the inner tube for a new tube. First of all, we need to pull our brake apart, undo our quick release, undo the axle a few turns to allow it to remove from the fork. We'll remove, if you do have any air still in there, just release the air by pressing the valve down. We're going to use our tyre levers to remove our tyre safely. To use the tyre levers, try and do it in line with the spoke, and then press it down so it hooks into the actual spoke and it holds our tyre in position. Second tyre lever, about 5 inches away, 4 or 5 inches. Get it below the bead and just lever it off the rim. Just working our way around the wheel. Again, working opposite to the valve, we're going to pull the tyre and the inner tube off from the wheel complete. We'll note where our valve is in relation to the actual tyre. This will help us when we actually check to see if we've got any thorns, glass, nails, screws to actually cause our puncture. So we'll remove our inner tube first. What we're going to do is partially inflate the inner tube to try and find out where the puncture, where the hole in our tube actually is. From here, just gently pass your hand around the tube. You should feel where air is escaping, even if it's from a pinhole. From here we can work out where our puncture actually is, and in relation to where that lines up with the tyre, we can check the corresponding section of that tyre for any protrusion, anything that's caused our puncture. Last thing we want to do is fit a new inner tube while we've still got a bit of glass or a nail or a screw inside of the tyre. To check the inside of the tyre, just pass a rag gently around the inside of the tyre. Ensure the inner tube is the correct size for the tyre. Most tyres will have the inner tube size moulded into the sidewall. Now, if we take our tyre, we'll refit the tyre back onto the wheel. It's always a good suggestion to align, if there's any writing on the tyre, to align that with a valve. It makes finding a valve when you want to pump up the tyres a lot easier. Now we'll take our inner tube, put the valve through the rim, and delicately try and tuck the inner tube, fit the tyre back onto the wheel. Again, it's a case of just pushing it back onto the rim. Just give it a visual check to ensure it's evenly positioned. Valve cap to keep any muck and dirt out from the valve. Ready to fit back into the bike. Hold the bike up. Allow the weight of the bike just to fall onto the axle. And we need to tighten our quick release skewer until there's some resistance. The lever should lock up about halfway, and then the final quarter of a turn should be quite tight. Pull the brakes together, hold both brakes with one hand. Position the needle back into the guide. Push the boot back in place, pull the brake just to ensure it's fitted correctly. Job completed.